Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Bull City Hangout 7-8. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter. That's Durham's online community paper. Check it out at durhamskywriter.com. Now, with Bull City Hangout, I tell you what's happening today in Durham, and I invite you to go ahead, click on that link on the Durham Skywriter Facebook page if you'd like to join me on camera later on after I do the weather. And then we can hang out. You can promote yourself, promote your business, your special event. All that would be great. It would also be great if you go ahead and share this out so that more people here in Durham can find out what is happening. So let me wear my specs. Put on my specs and move my keyboard out of the way. And let's get started. Now, I haven't mentioned this probably in a few days. Let me go to the cover story page. The cover story page, I like to run this in the summertime, playing the old school street games. I don't know if you can see that with the glare. Yeah, there you go. And basically, these are the games that I grew up playing with my big sister and neighbor kids on the south side of Chicago. And a lot of really fun games. So we're talking like 1960s era games like Simon Says. Now, the kids nowadays don't know these games. Simon Says, Hide and Seek, Mother May I, Red Rover, Red Light, Freeze Tag, games like that. So I give instructions on how to play these super fun games, and it's really great. If your kids are just bored to death, get the kids together. Maybe if you're running or you're a counselor at a summer camp, teach them these games. They love to play these games because for some reason they're not. I guess there was a generation gap at some time where the kids stopped learning the old school games and just, I don't know what happened. Anyway, the street games, teach your kids. You will not regret it and they'll love it. All right, now let's go to the word page. That is the nonprofit and government information page. Lots of programs and services to help you, to help your family, to help your neighbors. So you can go up and down the page and see what pertains to you. Go ahead and sign up. Hey, look who's here. It is Scopy. And Scopy is saying, Scopy is here. Hey, Scopy, happy to see you here. Absolutely. Hope you're having a good day. It's a little humid today. We had a whole bunch of rain last night. I don't know about you, Scobie, but we had a power outage yesterday. It was before it got dark, so I would say maybe it was like maybe around 7-ish, and it lasted until around for about an hour. Apparently a vehicle ran into something. I don't know. Probably somebody really desperate to get home because people do tend to panic sometimes when there's a bad storm. And the rain was coming down and it was pouring down in buckets. It was crazy. But anyway, welcome, Scopy. Okay, let's see what else is going on today. Let's see. So I'm on the word page. There are classes being given by the American Red Cross that you might want to check out. Some are online only, so you definitely might want to check that out. So there was no outage downtown. You know what, Scopy, though? Was that yesterday? Or day before yesterday? It was Monday. Yeah, I was going downtown. I was going to the bank. And I was really kind of nervous because the traffic lights were out on Main Street downtown. But because it was only 9 in the morning, there wasn't much traffic, so it was not that big a deal. But it was a little scary. And yeah, we really did need this rain. We're in a drought. So yeah, and I'm sure the fish are happy. I heard that Falls Lake is drying up. So yeah, I'm sure the fish are relieved that they got a bunch of rain, water. And I'm happy too because I just planted some seeds out there. I want to see some flowers. And I'm sure the farmers are happy about it too, for sure. All right, let's see. Oh, I was going to say there are some online only classes that you might want to check out being offered by the American Red Cross. There's a free class being offered in not just English but also Spanish, water safety for parents and caregivers. So if you know someone who prefers to get their information in Spanish, let them know about this free online class, and let everybody know with kids, because everybody's flocking to the the lakes and the ocean and all that, and you want to be able to save your child, or to have your child be more careful when they're out there in the water. A lot of people don't realize sometimes those waves come in, they can take you right out. I was watching some videos on, I don't know if in our area we have to worry about sneaker waves. I know they definitely have them in the northwest, but these sneaker waves, it's like if you're used to the waves coming at a certain level, and then like a big wave will come and extend much farther on the beach than you expected, and it can take people out. I don't think we have that happening in our area, but yeah, if you're going on vacation somewhere, be sure to look into the sneaker wave phenomenon and whether it's happening wherever you are. All right. Now, the Durham County Libraries, which are doubling as cooling centers, they are open until, today's Wednesday, so they're open until 8. Bragtown closes at 6, and then they reopen tomorrow at 9:30, and Bragtown reopens at 10 tomorrow. Alrighty. Oh, with today being Wednesday, let me tell you about these vacancies. There are 2 vacancies that the city's trying to fill. One is on the Durham Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission. There's another opening on the Human Relations Commission. So you can see what that's all about by going to the Word page. Click on that link, get more information, and then if you're still interested, let the city know by end of day today that you want to at least try to fill one of these vacancies. All right, let's see. There is so much on this page. Let me see. Let's check with the, let's see if there are any classes to take. Durham Tech Small Business Center. These are online classes that are being offered across the state. And this is for people who want to start businesses or thinking about starting a business. Or maybe you've already started a business, but you need to bring in more money and learn more about running a business. So let me scroll down to Durham Tech Small Business Center. These classes are being offered again across the state, not necessarily by Durham Tech. So today's the 8th. After all that, there's no class today. It happens. It is July, and it is a good vacation month, so a lot of people are taking time off. So their next class is going to be the ABCs of starting a small business on a limited budget, and that's going to be tomorrow early afternoon at 2. So maybe you want to attend that one. Let me scroll back up to Durham Public Schools and remind you that the Durham Public Schools, in partnership with all these different businesses and houses of worship and whatnot, they are providing breakfasts and lunches to young people throughout Durham. All throughout Durham. Ages 1 to 18 can eat for free. You don't need to show any paperwork or sign up or do any of that stuff. If your kids are hungry, if you're struggling and it's really hard to feed them this summer, I know a lot of times you're relying on your kids being fed at school, but if it's difficult for you this summer, you can send or take your kids to any one of these places. I have 7 flyers here listing addresses, times, and the names of the places that the kids can go to get free breakfast and free lunch. And they eat it right there. They don't take it home. They eat it right there. So definitely check that out. Alrighty, and don't forget, this is on the school tools page that I'm mentioning right now, the summer reading program. Sign up your kids for that. It's never too late, because basically all the Durham County libraries are trying to do is to save your kids from a summer slide, where if you don't read at all, your skills diminish, and it makes a big difference if you're a kid, because you want to be able to keep up with the other kids and to stay on point when you get back to school. So that's the reason for the summer reading program. You get a log, and as each child reads their book, or books, I hope, more than one. Then you write them down, and when the log is filled out, then you take it back to the library, and I think the kids will get stickers and stuff, and you can enter the children into this actually is not just for kids. You don't have to have kids to participate, but basically it's for anybody who wants to participate, but they're aiming it at the kids. So you can get a new log, fill that out, and then there's going to be a big raffle at the end of summer, and people are going to win wonderful things. They don't tell you what. They want to keep us all in suspense. But you can definitely sign up for the summer reading program at any of the Durham County libraries. And by the way, if your child is too young to read, you can still participate by writing down the name of the book, and you can read the book to your child or children. All right. Let's see. I was going to look for something. Oh, let me see if SCORE. Oh, wait, first let me check Legal Aid of North Carolina. Do they have a workshop today? Not till next Tuesday. Okay. Now, let me check with the SCORE program, Service Corps of Retired Executives for budding entrepreneurs. You can get a mentor. You can take classes and learn about running a business. So let's see. There it is. Let's see. Their next workshop is tomorrow, 12:30. Perfect timing. So tomorrow there's going to be a free online class called Simple Steps for Starting Your Business. And again, that's from 12:30 until 2. And it's free, so you might want to sign up for that. The link is right there on the Word page. All right. Now let's just go ahead and... Oh, here's one more thing. State Library of North Carolina. It's in Raleigh, and they help blind and visually impaired people gain access to more than 100,000 books in Braille, large print, and audio form. So you can download books to your own device, or you can borrow one of their digital talking book players totally free of charge. I've never seen these, but it sounds interesting. So I guess once you borrow this free digital talking book player, and then you can order books and magazines and have them delivered to your home. And then I guess you use the player to play. That's really interesting. So I've got the phone number, I've got the email address. You can get more information. And if you know someone who's blind or visually impaired, definitely hook them up to this. This sounds really, really interesting because they can do all the reading that they want with the aid of, like I said, Braille or these, it says here, you can download to your own device, but I would think you'd want to save on your memory. That sounds like an awful lot. So you probably want to borrow one of the digital talking book players. I would like to see one of those. I might have to check that out. Okay, interesting. Okay, now let's go to the To Your Health page. Alrighty, let's see. Basically, I'm looking for the blood drives where you can literally save lives by donating blood. So they do this all month. But of course, like I said, July is a good vacation month. So let's see if anything's going on today. So the American Red Cross is not having a blood drive today, but tomorrow morning they will have a crew over at the Hope Valley Baptist Church, 6900 Garrett Road. So you can donate blood there between the hours of 10 and 2:30. That's tomorrow. Now let's check with Blood Connection. They do the same thing. They've got 4 blood drives going on today. Wow. So they have William M. Andrews is here. Hey, William, saying good afternoon from Durham, North Carolina. Good afternoon, William. Saying it's a beautiful day in the Bull City, and it really is. It's a little humid, but it is beautiful indeed. And of course, the fist bump. Hey, William. Very happy to see you here indeed. All right. Now, it looks like the Blood Connection is really busy today with 4 blood drives going on at the same time. It looks like. Well, 3 going on at the same time. Let me tell you about them. Humacyte, 2525 East Highway 54. They'll be there until only 1 o'clock. So if you happen to be, in the Research Triangle area, You might want to head over there real quick. And then Syngenta, they're having a blood drive at 9 Davis Drive. They'll be there until 2. Then another blood connection crew will be at the Durham Co-op Market. They're there right now, and they'll be there until 1:30. And then the SECU, I think that's State Employee Credit Union. The one that's on Highway 54, 2421 East Highway 54. That's probably the one that's right by the South Regional Library. I think that's the one. So they're going to have a blood drive today from 3 until 5. Oh, and then tomorrow they'll be at the Food Lion, the one in the Lakewood Shopping Center, 2000 Chapel Hill Road, and that will start tomorrow at 2. So I'll remind you about that tomorrow. All right, now let us head over to the Senior Scope page, and let's see what's happening at the Durham Center for Senior Life, which is at 406 Rigsby Avenue downtown. It's a great place to hang out if you're 55 plus. Let's see. So today is Wednesday, is it not? It is. So this afternoon, they will continue with the Hispanic Heritage Group. They'll be having fun activities until 2 in Spanish. This is a new class. Well, it's already started, so I won't mention that one. But at 12:30, they're going to have Learn and Play Pinochle. That's a card game. That's all afternoon. So whenever you show up this afternoon, up until 4 o'clock, somebody will be there who's playing Pinochle who will show you how to play the game. They also have dominoes, by the way, and they also have Kings in the Corner. Chair Flow and Flex, which is a way of exercising while seated. That will start at 1 o'clock. And then the Lifeline dancers will be meeting and dancing at 3:30 in the exercise room. Now tomorrow morning, they're going to have Seniors on the Move line dancing at 8:35. Just Ask George. You can ask George tech questions, learn how to use your technology. That's tomorrow in the computer lab from 9 until 11. Breakfast bingo at 9:30. Yoga Your Way at 10. Now this one has a red FB after it, which means you can attend from home by watching on the Durham Center for Senior Life Facebook page. Keep It Moving Gentle Exercise at 10. Conversational French Club at 11. And let's see, Cardio and More at 11:15. African Dance and Drumming, and that's going to be from 11:30 until 1:30. And then Kings in the Corner all afternoon. Thursday Bible Study at 12:30. And let's see, Pinochle all afternoon starting at 12:30. Now, this is for the special events. Let's see, today, they never did announce the time, so I don't know if this has happened already. But Finance with SECU, that's the State Employee Credit Union, they're going to teach you all about credit and credit scores. But at the time that I, got this information, the hour and the room had not been announced yet. So you might want to call the front desk, and if you're interested in that, then you can definitely call and ask if they've held the class yet today. And their number is 919-688-8247. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Let's see. Oh, they're going to have free notary services today from 1 until 2. If you have a special document that needs to be notarized, then definitely call real quick, that number I just mentioned, and then register at extension 104. And then whatever contract or whatever document it is that you need notarized, you can definitely do that at the Durham Center for Senior Life this afternoon. Okay, let's see what else is happening. Oh, at 3 o'clock, this is new. Move Well, Feel Good, Mat Pilates. I think it's pronounced Pilates. That's some kind of an exercise. So that is going to be today from 3 until 3:30. Now tomorrow at noon, they're going to have the Exploring Art Mediums class. The feature tomorrow will be handmade jewelry and paper. So you can learn how to make paper and make jewelry out of paper. That's interesting. So that's going to be tomorrow from noon until 1. And you have to register for that one. So call and register at extension 110. All right, let's see. So that's tomorrow. You might want to, oh, you don't have to register for this one. I might have to check this one out on Friday. They're going to have Exploring Virtual Reality. They're going to have the VR headsets and have fun activities. I've never done that. I don't know if you've ever done VR or experimented with it. That sounds like fun. So I might need to check that out. Don't forget that JFK Towers is now a DCSL satellite, so they have activities from 8:30 until 1 or 2-ish. So tomorrow, with it being Thursday, they're going to have coffee and community at 8:30, health and wellness activity at 9:30, cardio and more at 10:30, congregate meal, free lunch, 11:30, and bingo at 12:30. And let me check for their special events. Oh, they're learning origami. Oh, in 8 minutes at 12:30, origami is that Japanese paper folding where you can make anything out of paper just by these intricate little folds. So you can learn that. That's going to be today. It doesn't say that you have to register, as far as I can tell. So you might be able to just run over there to, let me give you the address, 4900 North Roxborough Road. And that starts in just a few minutes. All right, let's see if they have anything going on tomorrow. They do. Okay, so tomorrow, 9:30 until 10:30, students from North Carolina Central University will be leading a mental health workshop. Interesting. They'll be talking about stress management, very important, healthy communication, and strategies for everyday wellness. I love that. That sounds great. So that's going to be tomorrow at JFK at 9:30. Alrighty, and don't forget the independent Little River Senior Center in Bahama, 8305 North Roxborough Road. They have activities too during the week. So from basically same hours, 8:30 until around 2-ish. Keep in mind, though, that the Little River Senior Center used to be a school, so you have access to the gym. You might want to take your basketball, if you know what I'm saying. Just saying. Okay. So now, let's go to the last page that we will be visiting, which is the Let's Go page. By the way, the how-to page explains the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke, what to do if someone needs your help, and also how to beat the heat. Little tips on how to beat the heat. Okay, now we're at the calendar of events page. Let's go. Now, I don't know if it's going over 9. Well, let me see. Let me see if it's going over 90 today. Let's see real quick. Yes, it's going to be 90 degrees. So I don't know if they're going to be open or not, but the cooling station is usually open between Mondays, or let's just say Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays when the temperatures exceed 90 degrees. So I think it's going to hit 90. They might be there. I don't know, but usually they're there. This is a new service of Communities in Partnership. They're offering this wonderful service where you can sit in air-conditioned comfort, have a cool beverage, and also a little snack. They also have free Wi-Fi. If you need to do some work with your laptop, you can bring that with you and do a little work. And yeah, check that out. It's going to be whenever it's 90 degrees plus, and the address is 101 South Driver Street. So it's on the corner of Driver and Main Street. You can't miss it. It used to be a fire station, so you'll see it. If those few spaces around the not the fire station, what used to be the fire station, if they're all taken, then you'll see the church across the street, kitty corner, and then you can park in their parking lot. Apparently they don't mind. All right, now let's see what else is going on with it being July 8th. Let's see. Wheels Drum offers skating, 2 skate sessions every day. They call it Summer Public Skating. So every weekday, The first session is from 11 until 1:30. Admission for skaters is $13, and skate rentals are $6 and $7 if you want to be a rollerblader. So this is for everybody. It's not just for the kids, but of course they're doing this because the kids are out of school. So everybody can go roller skate, and again, the fee is $13. And let's see, the other skate session is from 2 until 4:30. Same price. So this is every weekday, 11 until 1:30, and then 2 until 4:30. Okay. Also happening this afternoon, St. Joseph AME Church, which is at 2521 Fayetteville Street. They're going to have their community food giveaway from 2 until 3. So if you're struggling, you need some food, definitely head over there and get some food for your family. And I need to mention, let me scroll back up, Catholic Charities right now as we speak, they're running the Durham Community, if you're wondering, why does she keep looking over, it's where the clock is. The Durham Community Food Pantry is running for another half hour. They close the doors at 1 o'clock. They're in the Lakewood Shopping Center, 2020 Chapel Hill Road. So that's the Durham Community Food Pantry. So once you get there, you get a number, and you talk to a social worker. They do have people there who speak Spanish, and at least one person there who speaks French. Let them know if you can't have dairy or pork, and they'll make a substitution. And you walk out of there with the week's worth of groceries. They also have various things that people donate to them that they turn around and then give away to others. So you never know what they have out on the table. Sometimes they have clothing, sometimes they have luggage. You never know. Oh, I want to mention, they also have diapers. So if you need some pull-ups, newborn sizes up to toddler sizes, and then the big ones for adults, they have all of those. So be sure to ask about that as well as you're asking for food. Okay, let's see. Oh, the Emmanuel Food Pantry, that's today. They operate out of the Iglesia Presbiteriana Emmanuel. That's the church, which is at 2504 North Roxborough Street. So they don't want to clog up traffic. What they want you to do, if you need food, is to go online. Got the link right there on the Let's Go page. Go ahead and sign in, register. Let them know when you can get there between 2 and 4. Okay, so you have until 1 o'clock to sign up. Again, let them know when you'll arrive. And when you do leave the house, then you head over to the intersection of Lavender and Banner. And then, I guess they're timing it so that the traffic doesn't get all clogged up. And then they'll tell you when to go to the church. And then you pick up your food and then go home. Okay, so sign up now if you can, because you only have another half hour to sign up. Okay, told you about Wheels Durham, 2 until 4:30. Told you about that. Well, it is Wednesday. That means the Wednesday Durham Farmers Market is today in Durham Central Park, 501 Foster Street. That is from 3 until 6. It's not as big as the Saturday market, which you might prefer. It's also a great way to air out your kids. There's a playground right across the street. Be careful, though. They do not stop traffic on Foster like they do on Saturdays. So if your little ones are used to running back and forth, make sure you let them know that, you need to cross with them, because those cars do not slow down. They're not looking for little kids downtown on Wednesdays. So just be very, very careful. Also, they have the Sprouts Club for kids. If your kid doesn't want to play on the playground, it is a little hot out today, but maybe they want to participate in the Sprouts Club under the pavilion and take part in whatever the class is. Sometimes the class is seed planting. Sometimes they're teaching the kids how to make a smoothie, or what composting is all about. Whatever it is, after the child is finished with the activity, then they get $5 to use in the farmer's market. It's called $5 in market bucks. And they get to spend $5 on whatever they like, which is really, really nice. All right. Let's see. Oh, Kings Park International Church. They're going to have their food pantry and clothing closet. That's going to be today. They are located at 1305 Odyssey Drive, so you can get some food and maybe like a little nice outfit or whatever. Maybe you're getting back on your feet, getting back to school, or job interviews or whatever. So definitely check that out. They will be giving away food and clothing at Kings Park International between the hours of 5 and 6 this evening. Now, Catholic Charities, like I said, they close the door at 1 o'clock. They're in the Lakewood Shopping Center. If you can't make it by 1 o'clock, that's okay, because today is Wednesday, which means they'll be doing it again between 5 and 7. So you can always head over there this evening and get some food. It's game night at Boxyard RTP. So from 5:30 until 8:30, you're going to 900 Park Offices Drive off of Highway 54. You're sitting outside with a big fan overhead, making new friends, and playing board games. It's free, but of course, if you get hungry, you can always slip away and go to one of the nearby restaurants and buy a quick dinner or a drink or two. Now, Wheels Durham is back. Did I ever give you the address? 715 North Hoover Road. I think I forgot to give you the address. It is, again, 715 North Hoover Road. So they're going to host the $6 Wednesday R&B skate with DJ That Boy EJ from 6 until 8:30. So admission for skaters is, as you can guess, is $6. Here's the trick, though. Get your ticket online. I got the link for you right there. Because if you don't get the ticket online, if you arrive there without having purchased your ticket in advance, they'll charge you $8 at the door. So get your ticket, especially if you have kids. That $2 makes a big difference if you have more than one kid. So they can rent skates if they don't own skates, but they are at least getting in for $6, which I think is really great. Communities in Partnership, 101 South Driver Street. They're offering a Zen, Shimmy, Yoga, belly dancing class led by Shamora. That's going to be this evening at 6:30. It is free. And again, if those few parking spaces are taken in front and around the building, then you can always park across the street in the church's parking lot. I hope I gave you the time. It's 6:30 this evening. Okay. Pickleback 2, which is at 711 Rigsby Avenue, they're going to be hosting a free line dance class led by Anaya Dafe. That's going to be this evening starting at 7. And while you're downtown, if you happen to be downtown this evening and you hear some drums, that's probably Batala Durham, which is a Brazilian drum ensemble. They always rehearse in Durham Central Park on Wednesdays from 7 until 9. So they don't mind if you decide to sit and enjoy their music. They're rehearsing, and if you like Brazilian beats, or you just like to hang outside and you just can't think of anywhere else to go, check it out. Go to Durham Central Park, sit under the pavilion, and enjoy some great drumming. You might want to even dance. They won't mind at all. They'll probably say hello and go on about their business, but that should be really nice. I think it's going to cool off just a bit tonight. We'll check the weather in just a minute. Now, if you like running, the Carolina Godiva Track Club, they're hosting the Summer Track Long Distance Night is tonight. That's going to be from 7 until 9 at the Durham Academy Upper School, which is at 3601 Ridge Road. So this is for experienced runners and for anyone who wants to just try their hand at long distance running. And to me, long distance can be any distance because I don't run anymore. But let's see. They have the mile run, 200-meter run, mile race walk, 800-meter race walk, and the 5K. So it's family friendly. I mean, not trying to beat anybody. Some people are trying to increase their numbers. Or is it decrease their numbers because it's track? But anyway, it's free. You don't have to register. Just show up. Karen Fern, no way. Karen's here, folks. She's from the Biz Chicks. Oh, my goodness. How have you been, Karen? Oh, my God. Yeah, if you don't know about the Biz Chicks, they are on Facebook without fail every day starting at, let us know. In fact, you can come on if you like, Karen. You can click on the link. I can bring you on after I do the weather. Is it 11 or 11:30? Oh, my goodness. This is terrible. But anyway, they talk about business. They talk about money. Well, Karen's specialty is money, and yeah, and I think there's a lady there named Robin, and she talks about I think health on Thursdays, and I think on Tuesdays and Fridays it's still tech, I believe. But Karen, I'm so happy to see you. But if you do want to click on that link, it's you can see it earlier in the chat there. And okay, just so Karen is saying I've been good. Just finished a session with Terry. Yeah, Terry is also a biz chick. And today, so today, yeah, today's your show, Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. Awesome, Karen. I'm so happy to see you. I need to start watching the Biz Chicks again. Oh my goodness. Thank you for reminding me. I need to drop by. I need to start dropping by again. I am so thrilled. So nice to see you. Oh my goodness. And like I said, you can click on that link. She's going to join us. Okay. I will bring you on right after I do the weather. Wonderful. Okay. So let me hurry up so I can bring her on. Okay. I have no idea where I was. Okay. The track club. Yes. Okay, so you might want to just sit in air-conditioned splendor and enjoy a nice movie. So the Carolina Theater, downtown at 309 West Morgan Street, they have a retro film series. So today's movie will be The Nutty Professor, starring Jerry Lewis, and I didn't realize he was also the producer about that. So it's from 1963, and I think it was redone. Isn't that movie with Eddie Murphy? I think he did the Nutty Professor or something very much like it. But anyway, this is the original with Jerry Lewis. So this will be from 7 until 9. Tickets are only 10, which is great. And then I have a link so you can watch the trailer and see just how silly and fun it is. You might want to ask the kids, you want to go see this? And they'll say, wow, Jerry Lewis is crazy. Let's go. And then there's another link and you can get your ticket in advance. Okay, last but not least, Brett's open mic is tonight, with it being Wednesday from 7 until 10. They hang out at the Blue Note Grill and play great music, so the band will be playing R&B, smooth jazz, and funk. And you go there, you pay your $5, you have a seat, and it is a restaurant, so they would love it if you would order dinner. And then if the music gets good to you, you can sign up and hop on stage and join them. So you might want to do that. That again is going to be from 7 until 10 tonight. Now tomorrow, Catholic Charities, they'll be running the Durham Community Food Pantry again in the Lakewood Shopping Center from 10 until 1. And don't forget that Wheels Durham will again offer summer public skating, and that's from 11 until 1:30. Admission is $13 for the skaters. I forgot to mention that if you're an adult, just there to watch your kids, you don't plan to skate, then you pay $4. And there's Baby and Me Yoga tomorrow at 11:30 at Jewish for Good, 1937 West Cornwallis Road. The class fee is $10, or you can become a member and go for free. How about that? And I think that's it. I'm pretty sure. Yes, that's it. Okay, now let's check the weather and then let's hang out with Karen. Oh my goodness. So let's do the weather real quick. Yeah, it's not nearly as hot as it's been in the past few days. It's only 87 degrees. Oh my God. It's cloudy. Now, we've been getting rain for the past couple of nights right after regular working hours, so I don't know what it's going to do today. Let's see. So it looks like the sun is going to be playing peekaboo all afternoon. The high is going to be 90, so it's still kind of hot out. Now, it says here thunderstorms at 8. Ooh, okay. But it's a 20% chance. But we'll see. We'll see. So it might be like last night, because we really got some rain coming through. I mean, I heard the thunderstorm coming from I think it came from I'm pointing this way. That is east, I think. But it really came down, and like I said, we had a power outage and everything. Now, tomorrow, the high will be 94, and there's a 50% chance of not just rain, but thunderstorms. How about that? Okay. Well, at least we know. Good to know in advance. Let's bring on Karen real quick. Now let me okay, let me try this. Okay, wait. Let me so click on. Let's see how quickly I can do this. Okay, Karen, I'm going to try to bring you on with some fanfare. Okay, let me see. Okay, here we go. Let me see if this works. Did it work? Wait. Okay. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay. Oh. It worked. Yes. Karen, how are you?
I'm well. Oh my God. I saw you. I just came off. I was like, wait, I haven't seen
Yeah,
Patrick
it's been a
in so long
while.
time. Let me just hop and say hi.
I appreciate. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been good. Yes.
Pretend like I didn't say anything about the Biz Chicks. Tell us about Biz Chicks and and also what you do with the Biz Chicks.
Yeah. The Biz Chicks is Terry and Fran, and those girls do a bunch of things. They're doing AI right now, but their channel is about teaching and helping business owner figure out what they want to do and how they can do it. I think they do in-person meetups, they do workshops, and they offer classes. And I come in every Wednesday and talk about money,
Mm-hmm.
finances,
Mm-hmm.
anything to do with money and business and money and personal. So I talk about the money thing, profits in your business,
Mm-hmm.
profits in daily, and that sort of thing. So that's my co-hosting segment.
Okay, let me ask you a question then. Okay, because I've seen people do this two ways. I've seen people starting a business real small and real modest, and then growing from there. But then I've also seen people start out grand and just like with no holds barred. I mean just like bright lights, everything grand. So is there a is one way better than the other, or does it just depend on what kind of business it is?
I think it depends on what type of business it is. One way is not better than the other. A lot of people who have fanfare probably had businesses already, fail sometimes, know what they're doing, and now they're ready for the big money. Uh, if not, if you came into and borrow money to start a business, you don't know what you're doing, you're going to lose it just as fast as you have, accumulated it, whether it's capital or what have you. This is why when you
Mhm.
go into Shark Tank, they always want to see the money you make, the time you put in, and all that wonderfulness before they give you their money.
Oh, that makes sense
hmm
because they want to
but
make sure you're not going to waste it.
and most time people just they make a big fanfare, but that's not the backstory.
Mhm.
But for the people who build from nothing and come up, I really admire them because that is putting the heel to the grindstone. I know a lot of people don't think that footwork still happen because we're living online, but so many
Mhm.
things still happen in person. People still knocking on doors.
Yeah.
People still, finding you at networking meetups and different places and start and present what they have to offer.
Mhm.
And if you got no money at all and you don't know anybody and know where to get money from, and you just haven't figured out how to position yourself that way, you
Mhm.
start with what you have. You do with what you have. And the key is to, once you do it, make sure you're journaling, you're writing it down, you're dumping it on somewhere. I like paper,
Mhm.
and some kind of system so that
Mhm.
you can see the roadmap in how you are traveling to where you want to go.
That's a good idea. Personally, I like the idea of starting small
Me too.
because I have seen people start really grand and then they owe people money sometimes
Yeah.
because they're borrowing or they're getting a, a loan from the bank or whatever. And that's a lot of pressure. That's a
A
lot of,
lot of pressure. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can blaze through that money real quickly because all the shiny things is going to come at you and you really don't have the experience to understand how to handle money. Because if you don't handle money well in your own life, you're gonna do the same in the business life. You might say no, but that's exactly what you're gonna do because you're only doing what you know.
yeah, you don't
And
want to buy a Porsche with your first Your the first money that comes in.
No, 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 no. You want to get you want to get a car, not the oldest, but you want to get a car so you could figure out and learn things about car. Maybe
Mhm,
the same maker so you understand if
mhm,
that's, that's where you at, and then, you upgrade to where you want to go, right? Same
mhm,
with the people who want to make $1 million. Like, you're not going to make it out the gate,
mhm.
but that, three,
Although
five,
you could
six.
though, depending on your marketing, you might.
You might,
I
you
mean,
might, you might.
you're filling a niche that is unrecognized. Like if your community needs something and doesn't have it, and
Yeah.
then you know, or some people look like they're just starting, but they're really not because they're starting out of their house. And then they start a business, they move into a storefront,
Yeah.
they have instant
Yeah.
success, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow, how did they do that?
Yeah.
And then very often they already have customers.
Yes, that's the thing. There's so much backstories that people don't tell you, and you just watching what you're seeing, but you're not
Mhm.
understanding that they have done this, lost, fail, recover.
Yeah.
Back at it. Some people had a business, failed terribly, in the eyes of the world, but they learn so much that
Mhm.
they got a job, get back some money, and now you're seeing them doing. And they're only telling you about what is visible. They're
Right.
not telling you about the pain, because do anybody want to hear about the pain? They have to get into you to care about the pain.
Mhm.
Otherwise, they just want to see the glory. You can sell this and make $10,000. You can do this and make $20,000.
Mhm.
Anybody who hasn't made $10,000, a lot of pressure to make it. If you haven't made $1,000, a lot of pressure to make it.
Mhm.
And you're gonna do all sorts of things that makes no sense. And here's the other part. Some people do make $1 million. It seems at the get go. But that $1 million, there's so much debt in it that they're actually just revenue, just
Yeah.
revenue. It might get 100,000 out of it. There's people who make a lot of money, but it's not a lot of profit in the business. This is the other part. So when you
Yeah.
start a business, are you looking at the profit margin, or is just so you can tell people this business is $1 million business? Like, what?
I'm running a 10-figure business.
Yeah, you are running a revenue 10-figure business, but what is your carry home?
Yeah.
And what is it covering? Because if it's not covering enough, you get out of patient, you make rash decisions because you think it's going to blow up.
Mhm.
Very rarely ever do, because you don't know those. There's this commercial with this green guy who just bumps in everything you do, the
Mhm.
invisible guy who corrupts everything you do when you don't know what you're doing.
Wow.
Nobody talks about him. He
Mhm.
comes in all forms. He makes you sick. He
Mhm.
makes you doubt yourself. He
Mhm.
makes you think you need more money when, if you can't spend the one you have, the more money's not going to help you. Shark Tank like to say that all the time to guys. Like, I want a 1 point something million for so much equity. Do you know why you want it? The people who understand know what they're going to use it for. And even them at times,
Mhm.
I just think they need it, and Mark liked to say, the money you have is enough. And some people will say, well, no, I want to grow fast. There's people who went in Shark Tank, nobody talks about them. Or even here we have the Dragons Den, who, when I personally know somebody who,
Mhm.
their business made $1 million really quickly.
Whoa.
And they lost it really quickly.
They did.
Really quickly. And out of that $1 million, I think she made 150 they get to keep. And was she in a partner? So really just 75,000. And
What did she do wrong?
she went and opened a second location too quickly.
Oh.
Because $1 million made her feel like, I am rich. I'm really good now. And when we met, she was at that point. I'm like, so are you listening? She goes, kind of can't listen because I am in it. I said, no. I mean, you see me here, but you don't know me. At the time, I didn't know her well yet. And I said to
Yeah.
her, I've run several businesses before, and not in this country, but what I could tell you is you can't leave the location you're at. You're good. And she's like, no, I got to do it.
Oh no.
And she did. And she did do it. She ended up losing the location that she had that was good.
Oh
She ended up happy
no.
location because I went and visited her. Sales went down. She ended up filing for bankruptcy. It just went down, down, and down.
Wait, from $1 million to
Hmm.
bankruptcy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she had a good market. She was selling to the plus size market and really stylish clothes. So people were really great there. The
Mm.
problem is when again, when you haven't handled $1 million and you start handling $1 million, even though you're not holding the whole thing,
Mm.
you start imagining how big it is when it isn't as big as you think it is. Is imagine this. Somebody's making $3,000 a month or, 115 bi-weekly, and all of a sudden they're making 6 times that amount of money. They forget everything about the taxes and all the things that come out of that. They
Yeah.
forgot that to make the kind of money is taking away time from themselves. So they're working more hours,
Right.
80 hours a week,
Right.
whatever, crazy number hours. So they're tired, they're exhausted, they
Mm.
can't cook, they can't look after themselves. And so all of a sudden their health starts suffering. They're snapping at people.
Oh,
And the money, while
losing
that's happening,
confidence.
that's the green guy. While that's happening, the money is escaping through different avenues, but they can't pay attention because of all the things they're doing. That was happening to her, the
And a
green.
lot of people, and I don't know if people still do this, but I remember reading about, I think Johnson Publishing Company started with John Johnson borrowing money from his mom. And a lot of people borrow money from all the different relatives and whatnot. Then they have to pay them back.
And that's the thing. If you borrow from your family, pay them back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pay them back because you're getting an interest-free loan. And what you don't want to do with an interest-free loan is make bad company. You want to pay that money back.
First
Like,
thing.
yes, yeah, like right away. I've borrowed money in my time. I'm not a big borrower of money for my business, but I had borrowed money a time and
Mhm.
I paid that back in, I think I was a 3 month loan. I had to buy things. I paid it back in probably about 35 days.
Wow.
I just pedaled to the metal. I
Mhm.
wanted off the books. I
Right.
wanted off the books. And that was like my front runner because once that was done, I wanted to see the profit and I wanted a business to carry itself.
Hmm.
And the second thing I wanted a business to do was to invest in another business. So I
Hmm.
wanted that business to carry itself. And then once the profit came in enough, so saving in the business, I
Hmm.
take that and I invested that in a new business
Hmm.
that turned over. So that business afforded me to start a business that brought in about $10,000 to $20,000, and
Okay.
I was able to do that. One of the things I'll tell you what happened to me is the people I left to run the first business wasn't equipped enough. I thought they were, and
Hmm.
so while I was building up the second business, the first business started to suffer.
Ooh.
And so that was a big curve learning, and it was hard because it was family. It was just hard
Yeah. Yeah.
to watch them not do what I think I trained them to do. So
Yeah.
I'm a multi-passionate gal. So I always tell people, if you want to do a set of things, you gotta work so hard at that foundational business and get the right people in there. And then you have to step away and watch them run the business while you're still watching. And you
I
don't
know
have to
that's hard.
hey,
I know that's hard.
you got to watch it and you got to make sure they know what they're doing
Hmm.
before you really full blast, because you get engrossed in the new business
Hmm.
because it's your baby now and you're trying to feed that. So the other one has to have a good manager, and that manager need a good assistant. And the
Hmm.
other workers is fine, but those two people is going to carry you.
Yeah.
And while they're carrying you, you want to compensate them well and you want to treat them well.
Oh, you definitely want to treat him well. Indeed. Indeed.
Because if you don't, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good.
And sometimes you can watch people run a business and you can point out the problem, but you can't do anything about it. There was a very, very successful grocery co op in Hyde Park in Chicago. I'm from Chicago. And so Hyde Park is an interesting community. It is
Mhm.
diverse,
Right.
neighborhood where the University of Chicago is. They have a lot of Section 8 there, but for the most part, people there are able to handle everything pretty
Right.
much.
Hmm.
People from different countries. Like I said, it's diverse. More education, better schools. Now, there on either side, is a low income black community.
Ah,
Now, where I was Woodlawn. Woodlawn is an old community. It has direct ties to Hyde Park, but
right.
a lot of people who don't make enough money to live in Hyde Park will live in Woodlawn
Uh-huh.
because it's still very family oriented. I mean, it's low income. It's not. I mean, it's still family oriented, and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I used to live. It's fine.
Right.
But on the other side of
Uh-huh.
Hyde Park was the other low income black area. It was not the same as my neighborhood. It had fewer resources, more
Mm,
poverty,
yeah.
and they chose to open their second store in this other neighborhood.
Ooh.
Does not make sense because
Uh-uh.
Woodlawn and Hyde Park have always a lot of workers, a lot of black workers
Yeah.
work at the university,
Mm-hmm.
make a lot of money, live in Woodlawn,
Right.
and a lot of people. There's always been this symbiotic relationship of the two communities. But they
Mm-hmm.
went to the other community and failed. And
Yeah.
I said, why didn't you go to? I said, people are always Woodlawn and Hyde Park are all people going back and forth
Yeah,
easily,
yeah.
no worries, you know. But
Yeah.
when they opened up in the other neighborhood, I think the numbers might have looked the same in terms of the income level
Yeah.
of the people, but the relationship wasn't the
Yeah,
same.
it was different.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
went out of business. So in fact, they did so poorly
Yeah.
that the whole thing, they're out of business now. The whole thing is gone.
The whole thing, cause they pulled them, they pulled them with them, right? They took all their resources from the other side.
Yeah, and they, yeah. So even the original
Gone.
co-op is gone because they
Wow.
did so poorly.
Yeah.
The other neighbor, they tried to like you said, they tried to throw more resources over there.
Yeah. Never works.
If they had opened in my neighborhood, it would have been a natural thing,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes it's I don't know. Sometimes it's demographics. Sometimes it's marketing. Sometimes I'm not an expert in any by any stretch of the imagination, but sometimes you can see things.
Yes,
You know,
it's a combination. A friend of mine wanted to open a grocery store, and I remember saying to her which area, and she kept telling me which area. She says, "Well, it's populated. It's where." I said, "Nope,
hmm,
no." I said, "Here's all the things you're gonna have to do, and if you don't want to do them, don't open the grocery store." She didn't open the store. I'm glad because she didn't want to do those work. You needed those works that she needed to do, and if you
hmm,
don't do them, I don't care what the people look like and what they tell you they want.
hmm,
They have to have enough of them
hmm,
to be able to do it
yeah.
that they're going to spend. You have to have enough. You have to go through that processes, and that takes time, and that takes you're gonna have to do so much interviewing and being around. You got to spend a lot of. You feel like it's wasted time, but it's not wasted time. It's
Hmm,
you have to understand. That's why it might look like a Chinaman came in your neighborhood and doing well.
hmm,
But that's because he understood what we will buy, because that same Chinese store might be somewhere else and they don't sell certain things because
hmm,
they understand that that's not going to be sold there. People might tell you they want it, but
hmm.
they don't truly want it.
That's interesting. How do you know what they truly want though?
I'm gonna say this. Probably shouldn't say it, but I will say it. I'm in this black group from my area, and they will talk about what they want. And
Hmm,
I made a post and I said, I said, you want it if it's free. You don't want to buy it. And so I said, you want it if it's free because you're used to freeness. I said, so I'm sorry to tell you, but if that's what you're selling, this is not a place to sell it. I don't care who's mad with me. They're
I
not going to buy
see.
it.
I mean, sometimes you have to
Buy
look at the
it.
numbers.
Yeah, they're gonna buy it. They're gonna want to buy it at a discounted price,
Hmm,
and you wouldn't be able to sustain the business no matter how nice you want to be about it. Uh, when
and
it's I was a teenager, and I remember the area I was selling in at the time. I I had my clientele because even though their financials wasn't as great, they were steady buyers.
yeah.
And but I had my main core people who carry me, really and truly, who carry me.
Hmm,
And
hmm,
then there was the people who spring off who's ever so often. And then I once I keep learning, and again, you gotta take notes, you gotta get data to be able
yeah.
to say this is gonna work. And then once I start noticing where I can really capitalize and make it a little better, I start offering the things that is needed. I would ask, I would drop hints, I would have conversations, ask questions like, I remember asking like, "What do your mom do for dinner? Like, how often do you guys buy X, Y, and Z?" And
Mhm.
you could ask the kids because kids will just tell you honestly what's going on when they come to buy. I had a lot of
Mhm.
what I sell was my local snacks, and the kids would come, and I would say, or I'd make a little flyer, and I said, "Can you give this to your mommy and see if she's interested?" And if I get enough
Really
interest,
smart.
I'll do like a small batch, and I would have people pay in advance, and so they'll just come pick it up. So I'm not worried. So when that batch is finished, even though they might say you should have made more, I would sustain them for like 4 to 6 weeks, and then when the demand is there, I would say, okay, you still got to pay up front. My Saturday people had to pay in advance, and my Sunday
Mhm.
people, like they'll pay by Thursday, and so they'll get it. And it didn't matter if you came and said, well, why don't you have extra?
That's
That didn't move me. Like,
yeah, yeah. That's clever. Now I can give you two instances where demographics and income was so important. Whole Foods, for whatever reason, somebody must have been just kicked in the head as a child or something, but somebody at Whole Foods decided to open a store in Inglewood in Chicago. Inglewood is even less, they have far less income than now Woodlawn is low income. Inglewood was extremely low income. No place for a Whole Foods. And a lot of times in Chicago, you have the poor neighborhoods will not have chain stores.
right.
They'll have what we call Arab stores, and they're people from different countries, and they
Oh,
open up little convenience stores and
yeah,
you
yeah,
shop there. You just do the best you can.
yeah.
But Whole Foods entering Inglewood, everybody was like, "Why are they going to Inglewood? That's like the poorest." It didn't last long because they couldn't
Of course
afford
not. Of course not.
it. And then there was a lady on 63rd Street in my neighborhood,
Uh-huh.
in Woodlawn. She was clever. She sold little outfits, little clothing, little jewelry, little nice things for
Yeah.
ladies. And even now, she knew how to make money in a low income neighborhood. She had a store,
Mm-hmm.
and I think 4 out of 5 days, maybe she was open,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other couple of days she was closed.
Yep.
And so I mentioned it one day, and she explained where she said, "Oh, she says I'm not closed." She said, "I'll tell you what I'm doing." She had a van, and she had the van outfitted in such a way that she was able to cart her goods in the van, and she would take it to different areas where people,
Right.
because a lot of poor folks, they're used to not being served because
Yeah.
they don't have, poor people have money, they just don't have a lot of money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
That
she
is a fact.
Yeah. So she would go to certain places,
Yeah.
sell through her from her van, but she would also go to senior citizen low income housing. Because again, they have money, they're
Yep.
getting social security checks or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but nobody's serving them, and they don't. A lot of them are in wheelchairs, or
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can't walk to the store,
Yeah.
take the bus, and they love to have her come by on every Monday,
Yeah.
sell them like a nice outfit or
Yes. 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 Yes.
earrings, little hair piece or whatever. She was making money.
Yes. A lot of nursing homes here have that service. You can apply to go in and serve them. It's a fee to go in
Mhm.
and have a table in there, but they do the same thing.
Yeah.
I tell people I made my money. It's the neighborhood didn't had in retrospect when I look back now had money if you think about it.
Hmm.
But I made the things that I know that people would buy on a regular basis.
Okay.
Period. And then I specialize on the things I knew that is a treat. But
Mm.
Sundays, people would want to pay for it because it's easy to grab and get, and they don't have to go far, and they can send their kids to me,
Yeah.
and it's
There you
safe.
go. There you go.
You have to pay attention. As a business owner, all your job is to do, beside making, if you're a maker, is to pay attention to what's going on.
Hmm.
You really have to solve the problem. You really have to solve the problem, and you have to want to go out of your comfort zone when
Hmm.
enough is not happening in your area. And
Hmm.
when you take away, one of the things that selling in school taught me is if it make it scarce enough, people want it.
Mm.
A friend had complained. Well, she wasn't my friend no longer, but I thought she was a good friend. She'd complained to the principal that I was selling during the class, and the principal took away my little snack containers and put it in
Oh.
the office. And I was really upset. But what I learned within 24 hours, within a day, is that because they couldn't get it at during that time, everybody wanted it at the end of the day before they go home
Oh.
because I was the only seller and
Oh.
people money was still in their pockets. So I was able to make more money at the end of the day rather than selling morning, midday, and afternoon. So I, with my
Oh.
little self, when I come to school, I'll take the whole thing and take it to the principal. Nobody got a rat on me anymore. I said to the principal, "Can you hold on to these containers for me?" And she says, "Okay, Karen, that is good, so you wouldn't be tempted to sell." But what I was doing was so at the end of the day, everybody paid up front. And so at the end of the day, in her office, I parcel out everything, and only who paid got. And so people were starting to learn, like, if you don't pay in advance, at the end of the day, you're not going to get any of the snacks that I'm carrying, right? So
That
I was
is
sold out
clever.
in 30 minutes or less.
That is hilarious. You gotta be clever like that. Now I was reading about business, and they were saying that black businesses and Japanese businesses have something in common, where they tend to sell things that people actually want.
Hmm.
And they said, in contrast, many white businesses, or maybe we could say the biggest businesses or whatever, they try to convince you that you want what they're selling.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so they had to spend more money on marketing to
Yeah.
convince you. But they
Yeah.
say, and I'll bet it's probably the same for Hispanic.
Yeah.
You're serving your community, and you're
Yeah.
going to be selling things that you know they want.
They want. You sell what they want. I think the reason we stay poor as a people is because once we make the money, we don't understand distribution, where it goes, what needs to happen to keep moving. And as a little girl, from 9 to probably about 14, I get it, but I didn't quite get it. And then I took a break. And when I got back into business, I start understanding what it means to be profitable versus just have money, because I'd lost a lot of money, and that wake me up. And so my second bout, I start understanding that the business need to have savings. I need to be paid, and so I have a regular pay, so it didn't matter if the business go up or
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
I never fluctuated from that. I knew my expenses, and that's what I had. And I
Mhm.
had my own personal savings and my own business savings, so the business always have money. So even if we're in a low season, I can make less product and still be profitable. And at the
Mm.
same time, once I was able to do that, then I start looking for a wholesale market. And rather than
Mm.
leaving the business and going, I just employ my sister. I'm like, you're going to be my sales rep. Here's how much I'm willing to pay you. If you get a business that say yes, here's how much you can get in a lump sum along with what I pay you for the sales.
Wow.
And that had her working. She was such a great saleswoman.
Whoa.
It brought in so much wholesalers that I had to put the brakes on it because by then, I think I probably was about 22, 23 when I started employing people. I had about six employees,
Nice.
friends, tell friends, and they were just really great at selling, and friends would help stuff. And but that's the thing, that's the key that I find out, that people, once you start making enough money and you're living comfortable, if you're a
Yeah.
partier or you like to dress up, that's where you go.
Mhm.
We don't look at the investment part and how we can systematize the business. I didn't even realize how I'm really a system person until I literally look that I have a system. Uh,
Interesting.
that
And
that key.
and I think one thing that people do that I criticize, I mean, it's their business. I don't. It's fine. But I remember when I was younger, and young working person,
Hmm.
people would brag on how much they were spending for
Yeah,
something,
I never understood that. I
and
never
they said,
understood that.
"I paid $600 for this," and I'd look at it and say, "Well, if you really knew how to shop, you could probably have gotten that for $450." They would look at me like,
You sound like my daughter.
"Hey, there's nothing to brag about." But let me ask you this, because I don't see when you're talking wholesale and all that stuff is invisible to the average person.
Hmm.
We don't the average person doesn't know about all that. But one thing, see back home in the low income areas, the grocery stores again, and not trying to be insulting, they call them Arab stores because usually
Hmm.
the person's from the Middle East.
Okay.
Um, but here it's invisible. I'm going to ask you how this works. So somebody was telling me that the Arab stores can always beat the black stores because they have lower prices.
Hmm.
Um, and so I was told that all the the store owners buy from a distributor that is owned by an Arab person, and that's how the
Oh.
prices are low. So it's like they all shop together at one place, whereas the black stores buy at different places.
Mm.
And so,
That's the same. That's the same thing about building wealth, right? So, and I know why people in the West Indies who this is how they buy. So, if you had a sister, brother, cousin, an aunt, and you wanted to buy furniture, they each would come together and they'll buy the furniture as a wholesaler. Therefore, the furniture would be cheaper, and everybody's house will be furnished. And if at the time they only have enough money to furnish two people's house, they would rotate the furniture around because they live close by. We like to walk away and go all over the place. They stay, and so the money stays. So over time, they build well. There's another way of building well that people, I don't know, they don't know or they don't talk about.
mhm.
The other thing is, if you are a business owner and there's a lot of black people in the area, you should come together and form a community and buy in bulk so that we all can eat and sell. And I don't never live in the States, but I hear a lot of different things, so it's different. So I don't know. But
Mhm.
I do know in Guyana, where I was born and grew and lived until I was 26, and in business from 9 to 26 there.
Wow, 9.
Mhm. My business started at 9 years to
Okay.
26 year. I make friend with all the business owners. One of the biggest things I think that made my business really great is I'm a community builder. So I am always in conversation with people, always having a good laugh, always just treating people really well. And
Mhm.
so they bring me information without me asking. They help me find markets that I probably wouldn't have found on my own. I first started selling, we have plantain chips, you guys have potato chips. I would buy them from certain people. And then, one of the ladies said to me, no, 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 if you're buying that amount, you need to buy from the guy who sell to us. And let me link you up.
Oh, ooh.
So if I was paying 50 cents a pound, now I'm paying 25 cents a pound because I'm buying from the guy who's actually bringing the plant in. Same with the oil. Like, let me hook you up with the person who sell us. And that's because I'm talking with them. I'm telling them, this is what I want to do. I'm a young girl, and they're like, let's help you out. And for me, how am I giving them back anything? Because initially I have none to give. But eventually I'm like, if I know people are going to that market, I'm like, you should go find Ava, or you should go find, Parisha, or go find X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
And just by sending them regular people to buy from them, because they're not only selling the
yeah.
plantain, they are like so thankful. So anything,
I
here's where you
like
buy the
that.
bags, better price. So now I'm in this community where people are sending me to buy things from places I would have never known as a teenager to go get.
Mhm.
And so now
That is
I
so
am
clever.
to sell my goods at a good
Mhm.
price. Also, when I go wholesale, most people are like 50-50. I've never done 50-50. I've done, 80-20, 70-30. There's no 50 with me. And I get to the wholesaler and I have to negotiate. And usually they're like, little girl, what are we talking about? And it's like, 80-20. We're not moving from that. Call me when you're ready. And I'll walk away
Wow.
and I'll go back next day because they're not calling me. I'm going back. I'm like, so did we settle on 80-20? I remember this one big man, he was like just dying with laughter. He's like, are you really think that I'm going to settle? I said, of course you will. Here's what's going to happen. If we put 100 in your store and we sold out within the day, you're not going to want to miss it. And I had a big wholesaler had was buying from me already, and I couldn't keep the product on the shelf. So I knew my product was really good and fresh.
Wow.
And he was like, "You are not kidding." Okay, girl, we're gonna buy X.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you do value, when you got, this is the thing, you're behind your product, it is good, and you really good customer service, and you really talk to people. These are things since in the 80s and 90s I'm talking about that hasn't changed. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I've have an alteration business on my home for like 15 years now.
Okay.
15 years. And people still come to me from, I still have clients from 15 years ago who still
Wow.
send me people, and my prices has
Wow.
raised over time. I am not the cheapest alteration shop.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the mall they can go to, but I don't change from that price. A lady the other day, I said $18 to hem a pants, and she said to me, "Can I bring 15?" I said, "No, you can't bring 15. It's $18." I had a consultation with you. I measure you. I cut it. I sew it. It's $18. When you get it, you bring it and you get your pants.
Mm-hmm.
And when she came, I smiled, I laughed, we had a good chat. I'm not angry, I'm not upset that she tried to beat me down. I
Mm-hmm.
just know that she came with her $18 and there's the pants. Like, don't get upset and frustrated and mad with people. Like, have a conversation with them. And if
Yeah.
it's somebody who says, "Look, I don't have the $3 because I don't have it," I would give it. This woman was not that situation. She's just trying. There's a
Yeah.
difference,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you learn over time, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
somebody come to me and say, "Look, I got 3 pounds. I got to get to work. This is all I got, Karen." Or some
Mm-hmm.
people say to me, "Can you just take this, and as soon as I get paid, I'll pay the rest." I'm not a creditor, but in those tiny situations, I
Yeah.
will do it.
Yeah.
But I sustain myself. I'm like, you can do anything. Like I used to make probably about 1250 to 1500 a week on alterations.
Whoa, for
And I'm a
real?
clean business right on my house because everybody tell everybody. Karen is
Yeah.
very, this is what I get. Karen is so nice. When you go there, she's going to fix you up. You're going to be so right. You can talk to her about anything.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
people just, all the short people, all the tall people, all the people with different little quirks come and get their stuff altered, whether it's a prom dress. I don't do wedding dresses because it just take a lot of time, and I rather
Yeah.
just stick to the quick that adds up quickly.
I got
Once
you.
I figure that out, that's what I do. And again, I went to a cleaner. I wanted to buy a convenience store,
Mm-hmm.
and I met this lady and told me, she said to me, "Karen, don't buy the store. The store is terrible. The area is terrible. The store is terrible." She had a dry cleaning store at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Dry cleaning pays a lot of money. You should do it." And I said to her, "I'm not sure." She's like, "Let's talk about the numbers." And once we sat with the numbers, I was like, "You're not lying."
Mm.
So
I'd
I
be
did.
I'd be
I did
worried
dry.
about the chemicals though. Yeah.
No, no, I don't. No, no, no. This is the good part.
Oh.
I drop it off at the wholesale dry cleaner. I don't know if people know that they exist. And he
Yeah.
does all of that. I don't do it. And I pick
Oh,
it
okay.
back up. And I'm the
Oh.
middleman who can get
Oh, you're like a broker.
person, yeah, who can get to the person who's in the apartment. And I just drop it off. And I built in a transportation fee in there that is, I'm not charging you anything extra.
Hmm.
And so I get my piece, he get his piece, and we're all laughing.
That is so clever. You
And
know,
so you have to, when you make that money, do what do you do with it? I think that's the part where people don't understand, so their business flop or don't progress itself. Because if you make 12, even if you make 500 a week on what I'm talking about, and you end up with $2,000 a month, if your budget could sustain at 1,500 to 18, you've got a $200 that you can start putting away for the next thing that you want to do.
yeah, and you don't need to show everybody that you're
No,
that
no.
you're
I'm,
about
I'm
that.
talking to you, but I'm never, I don't like the idea of telling people what I make.
Mm-hmm.
So I give a gauge. I don't like the idea of what I make, how I sell my thing, unless you're directly involved in it. I am not the YouTuber who's ever going to say to people, I make $20,000 this month. It's none of your beeswax. I don't think you're not getting it, so why am I
It
telling
really
you
is.
about
It
it?
really isn't. I'm surprised that people even would divulge that kind of information. I know they're
Yeah,
showing off, but
yeah.
there's no reason to show off.
There's no reason.
It only makes people jealous and not want to
Yeah,
do business with you,
yeah.
or because I knew an owner of a radio station back home, and Mr. Sherrill, he ran a jazz radio station, and with him being black, and I think he might have been the only black radio station owner back. No, 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 one of two black owners, I believe, back then. But he said that when he went calling for going from business to business. He would do his own sometimes advertising, or he'd stop by and get sponsorships and all that for the radio station. And he learned not to drive a nice car
Mm-mm.
because he says when a white person sees, I mean, it could be, it doesn't have to be a white person, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when a person sees another person
Mm-hmm.
driving a better car than them, yeah, they don't want to do business with them, or they get jealous or
Yeah,
upset
they
or
do.
whatever.
They do. That's a given. When I changed my car, when I owned my cleaning company, I had one of my first clients. I noticed the difference that happened, and
Mm,
then when we had upgraded to some other clients, few times the bold ones will mention, and I said, when you hire us, that was the card, but it just didn't have the at the time it didn't have the logo on it. And he
mm-hmm.
says, "Oh, I said it's the same card. Just I just updated and add the
Yeah,
logo to it."
yeah.
But I noticed what started happening right after, and so I promised myself, like, if if you have a nice car and you have a cleaning company, do not drive it to the clean to the place.
Oh,
Don't drive the
mm,
car there, or you can drive the car there. Let's say that's all you have, and you say to them, "Ah, I can't believe my friend had to lend me the car today to come give you this estimate
ah,
because." Life happens and my car is out of whack. And they're like, really? Oh, it's so hard when you're trying to make it.
ah,
People like to know that you're making it. Don't tell them you have made it.
ah,
I don't know how else to emphasize this to people. I know you think they want to clap for you. I learned the hard way. They want to pull you down. Simple reason. Nobody wants you to be on the same level with them. If they think that you weren't there before them, and
okay.
while you're there, they want to come and pass you so that they can brag about it, that they've passed you and
Okay.
show that you're not going further. And this could be anything though, Pat. This could be anything. It could be because you have a nice home and you invite them to dinner, and
Mm,
you might not have a lot of money, but you know how to make things look well. And
yeah.
so they're trying to get to be you, but you don't know that.
Mm,
So when they hit there, they want to show off. So if now you're getting there, they're like,
mm,
how are you doing it? Like,
yeah.
why are you not telling me about it? And I'm not a teller. It's just not in my personality. It's not I'm hiding. It's just who I am as a person.
Yeah.
I'm just not a teller, so it's
Mm,
just easy for me to not do. I don't feel like a friend of mine said to me, "Karen, why you don't just buy stuff?" I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I like doing my own hair. I
mm.
make my own clothes, so it's just who I am as a person. This
And
is
that reminds me, my mom used to go to these meetings, the society, you dress up and you
mm,
go out to eat. And so my mom had a women's club
yeah,
and we would dress up and
yeah,
everything. And so they were at an event where everybody had on their fur coat, showing off.
yes.
And there was a white woman there who she was the widow of, I don't know if you remember the Spiegel catalogs. I don't know if you
Mm-mm,
remember.
mm-mm.
Well, back in the day, Spiegel catalogs was like probably the first or the biggest of the they sold everything, like Sears, like
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
sold everything. And
Okay.
they would send it to your house. Very often, you went in the 1960s, if you were watching a game show, it would be brought to you by Spiegel.
Ah, they were the sponsors.
Yeah, it was a gigantic business.
Mm,
So the widow of Spiegel, Mrs. Spiegel,
yeah.
I think was her, well, she was there. And so here's all these ladies, with their fur coats.
Yeah.
And so they asked Miss Spiegel, they said, where's your fur?
Yeah.
And she wasn't bragging, but she said, well, everybody knows who I am.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, snap, okay. So she just had on a regular coat.
Yeah.
She didn't
You don't
have
have to
to.
say anything. You didn't say anything.
She said, everybody knows who I am. I was
You
like,
don't have to.
whoa.
Yeah. You don't have to.
So I
If
want to be
you
like that. I want to be like cool.
Yes, yes,
You know?
yes. Nobody has to know. You own a company, it's starting to be where you need a manager or what have you. You can step aside. You don't have to say I own the company. You could say I work for the company. I
Mhm.
used to like to say it. I never put owner. I always put myself as the marketing manager or the sales rep or Something, not even president, like none of those things. My title has always been that because if I'm not marketing or selling, my business don't grow. So for me, until I hire a sales rep, that's
Mhm.
who I am in my mind. So that's,
You know what? And you're right, because Mr. Sherrill, the radio station owner, when he would call on these advertisers, he said sometimes they would ask him, because again, he's black, right?
mhm,
Very often they were not,
mhm.
and they would say, "Oh, are you the station owner?" And he said he didn't want to lie to them. He'd say,
Yeah.
"Oh, they've got me doing just about a little bit of everything."
Yes. Best answer. Best
Yeah.
answer.
So
Yeah, yeah.
it's kind of sad that you have to do that, but I guess when you run a business, I guess it's good to know human nature.
It's good to know human nature. It is good to know. My father come from money. I never lived with him, so I never had it. I
Mm-hmm.
developed anything I have strictly from Karen, nothing from him.
Mm-hmm.
And even when he died, he didn't leave me anything. And he was loaded. And they owned rice fields, they owned, you know, cows, goats, the whole kind of farming thing, everything.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody, I mean, if you in the vicinity, you know that they owned it
Mm-hmm.
and their children did work in it. But they, according to all the, s- information that I've gathered, you wouldn't know he owned anything.
Oh,
And
so
my dad behaved the same way. He walked around and he dressed up when he had to dress up, but he was always the just a suit and a
regular.
tie for sure when he's going certain places. But
Mm-hmm.
regularly, eh,
He's like a regular guy.
regular guy, you just would not know. You have to
Mhm.
know him to know. You would not know. You just pass
So,
away.
so he would be embarrassed if he saw all these people walking around with, how the rappers do with
Yeah, no, he
so
couldn't be.
much jewelry
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the.
No, no. Two gold rings on his hand. I never forget them. Two gold rings on his hand. I think he passed it on to my son. And he did wear a chain, but it was so small it used to be hidden in his t-shirts or what have you.
Oh, okay,
And he had a watch with a gold band.
okay.
That's it.
So he's like subtle.
That's it. And nice shoes because and this is the thing. He was a shoe designer at one point.
Ooh,
Leather
nice.
shoes. He used to wear
Wow.
some really nice leather shoes. You know how I know that he designed shoes? It's his brother-in-law that told me. He never told me.
Wow.
He had a shoe company.
Cool.
He had two shoe stores, and he never was there. His
Mhm.
brother-in-law run them, and he hired all the after-school kids. Um,
Oh, okay.
he's never there at the store. He's probably there when it's closed and nobody's there.
Hmm.
He designed all the shoes and sent the design to Brazil and they manufactured the shoes, came to the store, got sold.
Wow.
I remember loving these shoes and he said, whatever you want, you can have, Karen, I don't mind. And I was like, but he never told me.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had shoes in all range and style and size and heel and whatever. I had that time. I probably had about 35 pairs of shoes. And when I came to North America, I was talking about how my dad had bring home some shoes and his brother-in-law said, listen to me yapping and talking and I was telling a friend about it. And a couple weeks went by and he says, kind of got something to tell you. Did you know your father designed those shoes? I'm like, stop it. He's like, yeah. He said, you know what else? He's, he used to own two shoe stores. He sold them. I said, stop it.
Did his business live after he died, or did it?
No, he sold those businesses
Okay.
and they were never in his name or anything. Um,
Okay.
and my brother-in-law his brother-in-law took me and showed me the stores that he
Oh,
used to own. And I guess he sell off the licensing rights to
okay.
somebody, the design and blah, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Never talked about it. I'd asked him, and
Interesting.
he said, "Yes, it was very nice when I had it." That was the comment.
Interesting. Now, my I never got to meet my grandfather. He died before I was born, but he was a pharmacist, and
Hmm.
he had a couple of shops, and he died suddenly, heart attack, and just
Yeah.
went boom,
Oh
gone.
my gosh.
So my grandmother was immediately surrounded by people who wanted to get
Of
the
course.
funds.
Of course.
So she was able to keep one, and she lost one. And hey, Malachi, saying hi to Malachi. Hi, y'all. And yeah, this is Karen. Karen is an expert in running businesses. So what my grandmother did, she was not a pharmacist. She was just a regular person. My grandmother was real smart. She hired a an excellent pharmacist.
That's the way to do it.
And Mr. Perry ran that pharmacy, and then they moved it farther south when black people started moving farther south. So they moved the pharmacy farther south. Mr. Perry ran it forever. My grandmother eventually sold it to Mr. Perry, and Mr. Perry ran the pharmacy until he died. So that business must have run for, I'm trying to think, let me see. I would say that business ran for probably 50 years or more. And it was a successful business.
Mhm.
But she was never there. But of course, like I said, it's always smart when you hire good people.
It is. It's the best thing you can do for your business. And you can step aside and people don't know. There's so many people walking around that own several companies. And you will not know it. They will not tell you. And that is very good that you don't need to know. Because how is it benefiting you if you know?
Exactly. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing.
Oh my
And
goodness.
Mordecai is asking when my next, I think he meant like my next DJ event. I actually don't think I have anything coming up, Malachi. Um, I play for the Independence Day parade.
Okay.
Oh, I might be playing at Malachi. I think you volunteer for Root Causes, and I think Root Causes and Bagging It for Kids are going to have a community meal on the 12th, on this coming Sunday. And I think I'll be there playing music. So I might see you there.
And you'll be the DJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I like to play music. Sometimes the cool thing about being old is that sometimes you have time and you can volunteer for things.
Yes, that is true.
You know? So I don't charge everybody I DJ for.
Yes, yes, I understand.
That's a definite benefit of being old and getting Social Security. I'm not as desperate as I used to be, in other words.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm glad to see you're still doing your thing though.
Oh yeah, I'm glad to see you're still with the Biz Chicks. I'm going to start watching again. I've just been so busy because I'm working also part time
Okay.
for Senior Pharmacist, which is a local nonprofit. But I'm
Ah,
always home at 11. Is it 11 or it's 11 o'clock, right?
it's 11 o'clock Eastern.
Eastern, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I got to start
yeah,
watching again because I'm
yeah.
almost always here.
Yeah, I took a break. I was off for the month of June, but I today was my first day back.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so I will definitely start watching it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. So
thank you so much for reminding me. And I just got so much information out of you. I apologize if it became an interview, but
I know we just end up chatting. We were catching up.
touching. And I really love your ideas and your. I mean, that's why on Wednesdays you talk about business and money. So that's why you're the
That's
one.
my jam. That's my jam.
Okay. Because a lot of us really, I don't know about, because I know you didn't go to school in the United States, so your education might have been a lot different. But we're not taught about running businesses and things as children. And a lot of children have great ideas.
Great ideas. I used to want to bring a program on that, but I didn't ever bring it to fruition. Kids have great ideas, but they don't need, but encouragement is great. I think one of the biggest thing is the parents don't understand. Like I got a friend who kids want to be in business, she don't understand it. Kids need the room to do their business, right? And
Mhm.
it's going to fail. A lot of things is going to fail, and they need somebody. My grandmother was not an encourager. I grew up with her, but what she was is a leave me alone and let me do all the crazy thing I want to do.
Mhm.
Once I do the things I'm supposed to do around the house, then I can do all the nonsense that I have in my brain to come to fruition. Don't burn the house down and I'm fine.
Well, Well, actually, I stopped by an organization a couple weeks ago. It's called Echo NC. Their office is here in Durham, and what they do, they help teenagers start their own businesses. So
I
they
think it's
don't,
one of the
they
most
don't,
important thing
they
for a
just
human
don't
being.
throw them out there. I mean, they
Mm.
teach them a bunch of stuff,
Yes, good.
business concepts. And
Mm.
I think they're able to start them off
Yes,
with
yes.
some seed money
Okay,
and
okay.
start their businesses. Oh, Malachi's telling us some. Oh, now her mom is a seller of items, really cool items like soaps and whatnot and lotions. So Malachi is saying her mom has an event this weekend on Saturday at noon, and all the food is gone at the Bull down. Oh, okay. So that's when she says the Bull, that's CCB Plaza downtown Durham. There's a big bull
Okay.
statue, and there's a little park there. So
Hmm.
mom's going to be there at noon. Okay, I'm going to see if I can stop by there, Malachi,
Nice.
at CCB Plaza this Saturday.
Yeah, 12 p.m.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. You
Okay.
know, it's
Oh,
nice. It's nice to help kids to bring their idea to fruition
mhm.
and let them know it could fail. It's okay. I think sometimes people don't want to say that because everybody wants their ideas to be great, but you have to have a lot of crazy, stupid ideas that fail because it's
And
such a learning curve. I
yeah,
think
and
that's
ask
going
them
to
the
grow
tough
you.
questions. Make them think about it.
Yes, yes,
You
yes, yes.
know, make them give them something to think about, and
Mm,
give them a little pushback
yes,
so
important.
they can figure it
Mm,
out, and
mm,
what'll happen if this happens? What should I
yes,
do? Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Agreed. Agreed.
Karen, thank you so much for
Ah,
dropping
you're welcome,
by.
darling. This was a good
Oh,
conversation.
it was so fun, and you can drop by anytime you like.
All right, darling. All
Really
right.
appreciate it. Thanks again,
You're welcome.
and I'll see you real soon.
Yeah. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Okay, bye bye. Take care.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, I'll see you soon. Ciao for now.